All right, so let's go to the second game. So as I said before, as I said before, I had won the first game with the white pieces, but we have two games. It's a 2-game tiebreaker. You play with the white pieces and the black pieces. Let me adjust this now because Ruslan's on the left, so he is a little bit. I think this is still okay, so we'll leave it here and we'll go through this game. All right, so second game of the match, Ruslan with the white pieces. He plays d4, played d5, c4. Now at this time I was playing the Slav defense, so I played d takes c4. He plays a4, bishop f5. Much different time, of course. I played many different openings over the years. At this period in time though, I was playing the Slav every game. So he plays e3, very slow, very standard. I look away, classic Hikaru, thinking about which line I want to play. Now I go knight bd7, castles. Now I go bishop to b4. Of course, all theory, queen e2. I'm thinking, do I want to go bishop g6 here or castles? I decide to play bishop g6, goes e4. Now I look to the side again, trying to recall my lines. This is a habit I've had for many years, so no surprise for people who've watched the stream for a long time. I scratch again, trying to figure out which line I want to go. Do I want to castle or play bishop c3? So finally I decide to castle. Ruslan plays bishop d3. So I look to the side again, trying to recall the variation that I want to play here. Sort of a little bit of a nod there. Still thinking. Okay. Checking out the women. Very funny, you guys. Very funny. Very funny. So I play bishop h5 here, pinning the knight on f3 with the queen on e2. Of course, by the way, you guys, you should not be talking in the background here. So there I go again. It really does look like I'm doing the side eye of something, which I'm not. But anyway, all right, so Ruslan is thinking here, a little bit unsure of what to do. Now he goes bishop f4, trying to prevent the move pawn to e5 because he overprotects it with the bishop, pawn, and the knight. So now I'm thinking here, a little bit unsure of what what to do. So finally I play this move c5 here, again trying to chip away at white's center, so that here if white takes, my knight gets active. I maybe can play e5 later, but asking Ruslan a serious question about what he's doing with the pawns in the center of the board here. So Ruslan decides to push e5 here, very committal move. So now I'm thinking for a second, unsure. Finally I take the knight so that I can move my knight to d5, where it will attack the bishop on f4 and the pawn on c3. So Ruslan's thinking here, trying to figure out whether he wants to take either the knight on f6 or whether he wants to take the bishop on c3. I look huge. Well, the way the camera is adjusted is not great, but this is all the way back in 2011. It's a long time ago. Again, 5 minutes. So Ruslan's using a lot of time here trying to come up with the perfect line, or what he thinks is the best way to try and win the game. Remember, this was a must-win situation, or he would lose this blitz tiebreaker. So he's thinking here, and now I'm looking aside. I think it's because I'm trying to remember, after takes, can I take with the queen? He takes. Now I go knight d5, attacking the bishop, attacking the pawn. This is what we call a fork. Goes bishop d2. I take on d4. Ruslan's thinking, so a little bit too slow in my opinion. I think he could have done this a little bit quicker. Now I go knight b8. The idea is that I have a great outpost, or bastion as we call it in modern chess terms, with the knight on d5. Can put the knight on c6, target the pawn on d4 potentially, and this looks very good for black. Now objectively, the evaluation here is better for white, but with limited time and obvious plans for black, this is much easier to play. So now he goes h3. I go knight c6, g4, breaking the pin. I go bishop g6, of course, not lose my bishop on h5. Now white has played h3 g4, so it's a little bit of an overcommit on the king side. Generally you don't want to push the pawns forward, but at the end of the day, in a blitz game, you don't have time. You need to come with active ideas. and that's how that's how it goes. Have I shrunk? No, I have not shrunk. It's just the proportions are really really bad. This wasn't filmed with the best camera angle. So Ruslan's thinking here. Ruslan decides to go bishop b5 here, does not opt to trade the bishops. If he were to trade, I would have taken and opened up the f file, so he plays bishop b5 instead. So now I play rook c8, logical developing move. If bishop takes, I can take with the rook and take the c file. So now Ruslan plays rook fc1, again very logical. I go knight e7, threatening to win the pawn on d4, also threatening to recapture with the knight on c6. Ruslan goes king g2. Now here I'm sort of glaring, but I play knight d4 so fast here, and one thing that's very different I will say about my gestures in this game specifically is that I feel like there's a lot more confidence in my moves. Like I'm not thinking a lot, like I'm just playing it. It's like I play these moves in like 3-4 seconds and I just feel it, whereas nowadays I would have taken probably 20 seconds before playing knight takes d4. So that is one big difference here. So he trades on d4, I take back with the queen, goes queen e3, trying to trade again. I am up a pawn here, so I can trade the queens because again it is not a must-win situation. Must-win situation, probably I play queen d5, but a draw is good enough. So now I trade, I go a6, attacking the bishop on b5. So now Ruslan plays bishop f1. I seem angry. Maybe I was just intimidating back then, you guys. I wasn't this casual, easygoing streamer back then. A little bit different. A little bit different. So now I go bishop c2 to try and prevent a trade of the rooks. He plays king g3. Now I go knight d5. Again, I'm targeting the pawn on a4. I can stack the rooks, and white also doesn't have any ideas like rook b1 here. So Ruslan plays bishop d2, avoiding the trade of the knight for the bishop. Now I think for a second here, trying to figure out which square I want to put the rook on. Finally I go rook c7 where the knight guards it and I can double stack. Plays a5, go rook d8 here. Interesting choice to not play rook c8. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna stop the video for a second. Is rook d8 the best move, or is rook c8 better? Aha, so I have the engine on, you guys, and rook f8 is a better move. So I'm kind of surprised that I played rook d8, because in my olden age, rook f8 is the move that I would play instantly. I would not play rook d8. So it's kind of interesting that my spidey sense is a little bit better now than next. I played rook d8 right away, whereas now I would have played rook c8 right away. So kind of interesting to note. So anyway, I play rook d8. Ruslan plays rook a2, attacking the bishop on c2. And now I finally admit my error. I play rook c8. He goes rook b2, gets the rook to a nice square where it targets the pawn on b7 and the bishop on c2. Play h6, creating the lift for the king. Ruslan goes f4, maybe f5, also just supporting the pawn on e5. Now I go knight c3. Nice tactile idea with knight e4 in the fork. Ruslan goes king h2 to dodge it. And now I play knight to e4. He goes bishop e3. I play bishop a4, offering the exchange of the rooks. Bishop g2. And now I'm thinking for a second here, but true to form, I play rook c2, which is a move to try and force a draw here. There are other moves like bishop c6, but this is the way that I force it. Ruslan, of course, cannot trade rook, so he plays rook takes b7. And so now here I play rook e2, targeting the bishop, keeping a lot of pressure on the second rank as well. Ruslan goes bishop b6, guarding the pawn, and the pawn supports the bishop. Now I go bishop c6, and white has a big problem here with his diagonal. So he goes rook c7, I play bishop d5, and now it's very hard for white to play. Ruslan goes king g1. Now knowing that I only need a draw here, I make the check, king h2. Now I play rook to e2 because I won the first game. Ruslan makes a check. I go king h7. Now he plays rook c1, which is sort of a blunder, because now I go knight d2, and now the pin is decisive. He plays rook g1, knight f3 with the fork, bishop can't capture, king g3, knight takes g1. Now here Ruslan resigns in the second and final game of the tiebreaker, and with that I win the tournament, and I do win the I think it was called the San Sebastian Chess Festival in 2011. So I did want to do these two recaps of that, because this is way back from the Stone Age. Certainly this was not in recent times, but anyway, I win the game and I win the tiebreaker, and with it I did win the whole tournament. This was all the way back in 2011. This is a tournament that was held in the great town of San Sebastian in northern Spain. Really the start of my career, where I played in an elite level tournament. I won this, and from there I would start getting invitations to tournaments like Tata Steel, the Town Memorial, and so forth, and the rest, as they say, is history, or it was history I should say, since now obviously I'm a streamer. But way back in the Stone Age. So